a fucking sunny ass day over here in Orange County. Forgive me, y'all, for being over here in Orange County. For those who don't know that I've moved to Orange County for the time being with my grandma and my dad, forgive me. My sister is here too, with me. I mean, moving with me, but yeah, we're fucking here in Orange County. But for those of y'all who are in LA, Lancaster, people who I have not, like cities I haven't seen, what is up? I hope it is sunny wherever you are at, and I hope it is not like dead, dry ass hot. For those of y'all who are in Lancaster, I am so fucking sorry. Okay, so this is the playground. This is my new podcast to where I'm gonna be talking about like what is up, like current events, entertainment, pop culture, specific shit that's popped up in my mind, and even mental health shit that I happen to be going through that I hope that will help other people. I hope to spread information that needs to be spread. I hope to spread wisdom. I hope to spread laughs. I don't know. It's not a given, but I do like to make people laugh. And I hope that this will just be nothing but entertaining either way, no matter what information. And I just hope that this information, though, will be essential to you in the future, just even in the knowledge of knowing whether you're watching something and you need something to share something. I mean, need to share some nerd shit or some entertainment pop culture with someone that you know will know. I know. Just know. And I am Tay'Laur ambrene, for those who don't know. So I am your host for The Playground and this week's Passion Tea. Passion Tea, let me just show you. First of all, Passion Tea is my brand. Passion Tea is my little baby that I made up a few years ago. Actually, my sister helped make it up because it first started out as just a little nickname for my YouTube channel. And I wanted something that was cute. People that I were following were like doing like cute little titles or like something that was like ripped off their name that wasn't really their name, that was like, just cute and catchy. And Passion Tea, I mean, the tea does come from my name, but I'm very passionate about the things that I talk about, the things that I love, the things that I hate. So I don't even want to say hate. I'm gonna say strongly dislike, because hate is a very strong word, and I feel like I don't hate anything but Donald Trump. I would like to think so. So, this week I watched so much shit, and for those of you who don't know, or for those of you who follow me and who I have not talked to for a long time, I'm so sorry. I'm really bad at keeping up with people, especially when I'm going through shit, because it's like I don't like to share all of that, especially when it's negative, because I just feel like it'll weigh down on people. I don't really want to feel like a burden on people when they're going through shit. Like, I know everyone's going through shit, so I don't really want to put extra on you by telling you my shit, and then we're all just like, wow, that's heavy. That's a toxic side of me, is that I don't really like to share much about myself, especially when I'm going through something. But I am getting more used to that. This being one of my steps. Ooh, let me stop saying because I don't want to do that and get y'all into just, oh my god, just being like, girl, talk. All right, so this Passion Tea. It was a full moon in Capricorn. For those, I don't know if anyone is into astrology or into like that, but I am, and I am getting way more into it just with, knowing all the information and just knowing how the moon cycles go. And I know definitely for a while now that full moons will put you in a fucking tension filled, you're a volcano that's about to explode sometimes, and that could be exploding with, any kind of emotion. It's just high emotions around that time, and sometimes, you could get caught up in your emotions. Sometimes, you'll get easily irritated. Shit, just crazy shit be going on, and it just be like, it be getting you up in your emotions, like, what the fuck is going on here, and then you just be like, ooh, like, and yeah, this week for me, it wasn't anger, it was sadness. I was like a freaking volcano of sadness, and I like cried for like 3 days, or like for a while. Honestly, y'all, I'm living with my family right now, and I love my family to death. But you ever know that you love someone to death, but you can't live with them? Yeah, I'm there. I'm so sorry. I love y'all so much. Like, I love my family to death. And I know that when I really, really need them, you know, when I really, really need them in like a crisis, I know that I could come for them, come to them. But when it comes to a lot of like emotional things that I'm dealing with, and even just certain things that they're like, you know, a lot, they're from a different generation, so they're not really gonna understand. And even that kind of stuff, like, it can get really hard. So I was we were gone, all of us, the family, for Father's Day weekend last weekend. And then you happen to find out some information about a family member from another family member, and then you happen to live with that family member, and you're just like, oh, like, that just kind of makes you feel like, I just felt sad. I felt sad. I felt betrayed. I kind of felt angry. But I'm kind of getting over that, to where it's just like, I just have to find another way to process it. I know I have to. Like, I'm angry and sad, but I know that that's how they are. Like, it's being frustrated because it's conflicted. Like, it's like my ego and my higher self are like fucking wrestling it out, and my higher self is like, well, you know, you're not supposed to take it personal because, you know, they're going through stuff. But also my higher self is like, is trying to be understanding and being like, you know what, like, it's understanding that you feel this way, and I'm so sorry that you feel this way. Let's just try not to stay there for long. So that's my problem, is like, once I'm trying to get out of that, I don't know how. Like, that's, I don't know how the first step. I just know that eventually things end up being fucking okay. So I hope that is a note for, not even a note, but just a story, a quick little story about myself, that hopefully, if anyone's going through things with their family, because I kind of feel that in the energy. I see that with certain people that I follow on, like, on social media, or going through family issues. So I hope that you don't feel alone, and that you know that that shit's normal, and they're not going to understand. Sometimes they're not going to understand. As much as you try to explain to them, as much as you try to gain some type of empathy or some kind of understanding from them, I feel like their lesson is standing on our alone. Sometimes, not for everyone, but a lot of times for me, the lesson is standing alone, because I can get caught up in trying to get validation from outside, and sometimes I'm not going to get the approval that I'm looking for. And I know that you have to stand alone and stand what you believe and everything like that, without worrying about what your family thinks. And just knowing that you're going on the right path, and knowing that you're on the right path without that support. You know, they just can't see it right now. And, you know, sometimes it is sad when you feel like, you know, you Kendrick, like, bitch, where you when I was walking? So now I know that, you know, you gonna get successful, and you gonna show it, the shit's gonna reflect on the outside, and then everyone's gonna want to be your friend, and it's just be like, really? Like, for real? You could have emotionally supported me back then, but you chose to be critical instead. You feel me? Like, that's kind of how I feel. Like, sometimes that's immediately what I go to. Sometimes when I feel that energy that people are like popping back up, it's just be like, oh. But I digress. Like, I'm not trying to be negative. It just be like, you know, you just gotta be like, it is what it is. Like, you don't have to hate those people. You don't even have to, like, stunt on those people. You know, stunt if you want to, but, like, you're not gonna get the constant satisfaction that you want. So, like, you kind of just gotta be like, whatever. Like, it is what it is. Like, you know, you're not really close to them, but you don't hate them. You know, it's just like, we're cool. It's whatever. I don't really know how else to say that. Like, it's kind of like neutral. It's just like, you know where that person's at, so it was just like, you choose to be over here in your own energy, and just know that you can't constantly give your energy, because that's something that I've been dealing with too, is constantly giving your anger and sad energy to those kind of situations. It's just like, who fuck cares? It's like, at the end of the day, people are gonna have something to talk about anyway. Either way, they're just gonna find something to talk about you, or they're gonna find something to feel like they're taking personal. If you're doing something on you, then they're gonna be like, you know, I don't know. I'm just dealing with bullshit sometimes when it comes to certain people that I'm just like, you know, you weren't there and now you're popping up, or just family that, or people that you want to act like they're there for you, and then, you know, they're not there, and then want to pop up and act like they care for you or even want your attention. It's just like, you know, it's okay. It's okay. I love, you know, you can love people from afar, and not even like, you know, not even saying that you have to love them, but you can just love them over there. And it's nothing personal. So anyone going through that, I feel like you're not alone. Just know that you're not alone, and just know that, you know, like, feel however you're feeling. Feel however you're feeling and let that go however you want to go. But just know that, you know, at the end of the day, sometimes it is just like that anger and irritation. Like, sometimes even that's too much energy. It's like you don't really hate that person, but you're still mad at them for something that they did. And then it's just like, you know, every time you think about that person, is that sometimes that, at the end of the day, that just becomes too much energy. And it's like, you just got to be like, whatever. But love you. All right, y'all. I did want to note that for those of you who do follow me on Instagram, that I am doing tarot readings again. I feel like 30 minutes starts off at 30. But let me know. I can give you, like, it's super detailed. Like, I don't know what people think that the tarot readings that I do, but it is super detailed. It does give you a lot of information that is coming out to me that I feel like Spirit wants me to tell you. But other than that, hit me up if you're interested. So for the first thing, like I told you, I watched so much shit. So the first thing that I watched a while back that I haven't gotten a chance to review is In the Heights. That new musical that's on HBO Max or in the theaters, either way. I got the plug when it comes to HBO Max, and no, I cannot share with you because they specifically told me not to. It's not because I don't love you, but it's literally because I can't. They promised me not to, and I love them too much to, you know, to not do that. Not just listen to the one thing that they ask. So I have the HBO Max plug. So for those of you who can get the plug, get the plug. But those of you who want to go back to the theaters, I'd say go back to the theaters, because damn, like, you just realize how much shit you miss when it comes to, like, shutting down or just, you know, having to stay in the house way more. Like, I didn't 100% stay in the house because my work includes being outside. So I masked up and shit like that, but I'm vaccinated now. And, yeah, I'm kind of realizing that I've been in the house a little bit more now that I'm vaccinated. I feel like more than I have when I was unvaccinated. But I don't be up in the parties or 100%. Like, people be up in those house parties with like 20, 30 people, and I'm just like, ooh, y'all, you kind of... There was this one party that I went to, but it ended up being way bigger than I thought, and it was supposed to be a kickback. Once I started seeing all those people, I was like, oh my god, like, I know, this is not something I was supposed to do. You feel me? Okay, so In the Heights, I don't know if y'all heard about the controversy. The controversy is the biggest thing that I want to talk about, because I feel like I have a different perspective that I haven't been really seeing. And I don't know if that's for a reason. So, the movie was great. Let me just tell you, I loved the fucking movie. I loved, the music is in my fucking, soundtrack. I loved the movie. Anthony Ramos was a little crush of mine, because I loved him from Hamilton, and then he was also in She's Gotta Have It, the Netflix show, Spike Lee's Netflix show, and he was, Mars. He was Mars Blackman. And I loved him. I thought his character was like, yeah, he was trying to like show up and shit, but I thought he was the most caring, like, out of all three of her men. I did not see the second season, however, so I could be biased, but I digress. The movie was great, but the controversy that was surrounding it involved having light-skinned actors as the majority of Washington Heights. And Washington Heights is a a majority Afro-Latinx community, or just a Latinx community, and they say that there's a lot of Afro-Latinx citizens in Washington Heights, and that was not reflected in the movie. And I have to say, that's disappointing. I really loved the movie for what it was, but I mean, if it's not showing authentic Washington Heights, and if people just of Afro-Latinx descent are feeling like they're not being seen, then that's a responsibility that was not prioritized. Let me say, it was not prioritized. The movie, they wanted to get the movie done. And let me also note that the casting directors are white. I did see that on Twitter, that the casting directors for the movie were white, and so that's not surprising that everybody in the movie is light skinned when it comes to what was it? Being white, being white. I mean, when the casting directors are white and then the light-skinned actors, like the whole movie is light-skinned. That makes sense when you look at the source. But I feel like the director didn't really have a good responsibility of, he had a responsibility to take accountability for the fact that, you had a vision, and and the movie was great, but there's still a community within the Latinx community that is still not being seen, and that's, yes, of darker complexion. And that's everybody. Like, I feel like everybody of dark skin complexion is dealing with that bullshit. And instead of actually acknowledging that, you want to just be like, well, we casted, did you see the dancers in the back? Like, the dancers in the back are dark. I'm like, come on, y'all. We don't even like it when white people do that shit. So do not do that within a community. If they're saying that they're not being seen, which they're not, they're not, and then the movie also did not reflect. So you just have to be like, you know what? I see the movie that we made was great, and I believe that the movie we made was great. However, I do note that we could have done better, and that we will do better next time. Like, I think that literally that's what everyone's asking for, because it's just like, you can't turn back the hands of time and redo the movie, so you don't have to be so defensive of, just being like, well, we casted whoever we felt like was right, and they all happen to be light-skinned. What is that telling everybody? Like, what is that really saying? You just have to, I don't know, I'm just saying when it comes to that shit, because I'm kind of tired of seeing that excuse too. It's just like, okay, well, we thought it was best. Okay, well, that's exactly what white people are saying when it comes to their movies, when they're all white. When the movies are all white and we all don't feel seen, and then they're just like, well, we thought we casted the perfect cast. And then we're just like, oh, okay. Like, isn't that, I don't know. I just feel like we're doing the same shit, and you don't have to do that. You can just literally just say that. But I do want to say that the director does have I've just noted that the director does have a little bit of controversy when it comes to casting darker skinned actors. And I feel like he has to acknowledge that in some way, shape, or form, because people were already saying that when it came to his film, Crazy Rich Asians, is that there were not, like, they were all of lighter skin complexion, or like, all rich and of, popular class. I don't know. I know that was a part of the movie, but I can't completely remember the details that came with that little bit of a note that came with the director. But the movie was great. The music is great. I do encourage people to look at it, and then you can look at it from that perspective. Like, yes, that movie was great. However, the only darker skinned lead was Corey Hawkins, and Corey Hawkins is black. Just saying. Okay. Loki, guys. Loki. Oh my gosh. So I sat there and watched both episodes, the yesterday and the night before, trying to catch up, because when I first watched it, like, let me just note that thank you to the Marvel, like, I don't know if it's Spirit, I don't know if it's the Marvel gods, but like, literally, like, this is all I've been fucking asking for. Like, for a long time, all I was asking for was a Loki-centered something. I need a movie. I was like, I need a movie starring Loki. I need a show, something. And now that I got it, I'm just like, like, thank you. because Tom Hiddleston is great in fucking everything that he does. I love him as an actor. He's very talented. He seems like a beautiful human being because he's just so nice and so jokey. He just seems like a really good person. And he's handsome and talented. Oh my god. And his his depth as Loki is so like, oh my god, like I can't see anybody else playing that part. Just like how when it comes to Robert Downey Jr., we can't think of anybody else when it comes to him playing Iron Man. Like that's kind of how I feel when it comes to Loki. Like he's played him so well that I can't see anybody else playing him. And I hated him at first. Like, I hated his character at first. I was just like, oh my god, like, someone get him. And then the more that he showed up, the more I'm just like, okay. Like, he's one of the most entertaining characters in the MCU. So I gotta give him that. And his actor is handsome. I love it. I love it. And to all my Loki stans, I just revel. Especially now that all of the notes, like about Loki's character has been coming up when it comes to his fluidity, when it comes to yes, that Loki is fluid and that he can shapeshift, and then that there was a few nerd articles that were noting that the Loki that they might be looking for might be Lady Loki. I was just like, oh, what? I'm like kind of mind blown, and I'm just excited and I want to see more, like more. And also a note that I feel like I think I gotta know, I can't quite remember correctly because I also saw a TikTok about it, but it note that Loki was going to get a love interest like sometime, like some kind of love interest or whatever, and that she was going to be a black woman. So I'm waiting, and I'm just like, yes, because I'm like, that's written in canon now. Like, I'm here for it, because I'm like, now white people are gonna have no excuse to say, like, she's like, you're black. Like, she's not black. Like, I don't know. I've never had that experience, but I've just seen so many black people and so many black cosplayers and nerds get that kind of response when it comes to white people. Like, oh, they're not black. That's not canon and shit like that. And I'm just like, it is now, bitches. Oh my god. I'm just like, you can't be telling me nothing now. Especially since I love Tom Hiddleston. I'm just like, oh, okay. So he likes he's down? Oh. We call that down with the brown. Okay, no. I just want to note for any possible white people who are listening, that is a joke for me and my sister only. Do not start saying that to other black women, because it's not a compliment when it comes from you. It's not a compliment when it comes from you. It's a compliment when it comes from, yeah. Okay, y'all. So, okay. Chloe Bailey, so that noted, I wanted to talk about Chloe Bailey for a quick second, because I get so fucking tired of when this girl is talked about in a way that's so disrespectful. I'm like, she's over 20, like in her almost mid-20s, and y'all have nothing, like, I just feel like there's no reason, no negativity should be said about this girl in general. It doesn't even matter if whatever she's trying to do. And yeah, that's exactly what happened this time, is that there's a little bit of a controversy that was going on about her performance for Juneteenth, for the Soul of a Nation. And she performed Feeling Good by Nina Simone, and she performed it in a burlesque kind of way, in a very like deep baritone kind of way, and I loved it. Like, I don't know, I love her, so like everything she does, I feel like she can do no wrong. Like, once I love somebody, it's, unless you do something like really bad, I feel like it's hard for me to dislike you, even when you're a little bit problematic. I hate to say, there are people who are completely canceled. I completely cancel somebody. It depends on what you do, but if you're just doing little dumb shit, I kind of just feel like, I just note you as problematic. So if and when you do something extra serious, I'm like, okay, now you're canceled. So with Chloe Bailey, I just feel like I have no idea why people were appalled. Yes, it's sexy, but that's her. She's trying to explore her sexuality right now, and I feel like we should be embracing that and accepting that more than shunning it. I felt like young girls, that's why young girls don't get to experience certain things, because they're fucking labeled as fat. Especially when they're black girls, they're labeled as fast. They're just not able to express that. And I know I wasn't. My sister and I weren't. My sister was labeled as fast by my family. Like, not even by my family, but by a specific family member who was raising us. And it's just bullshit. It's complete bullshit. And I feel like you get caught up in the good girl, bad girl thing. It's just like, you're so, like, me personally, I've been so, like, my grandma has always been like, oh, they're good girls. Like, they're good. And I'm just like, I'm kind of tired of that, to be honest. I don't like that perspective, because it makes it seem like I can't do no wrong, or if I want to do something that's so-called bad, like so-called sexual, then it's like my grandma didn't like at first if y'all who if y'all who follow me on Instagram have seen my lingerie pictures with Savage, first of all, I do want to note that that's not an actual, like, I did not collaborate with Savage. I literally bought the outfit, and I did a photo shoot campaign, paid for where we did it, I paid for the location. I paid my sister, who is a photographer, to take pictures. So that's what we did. Like, we created a whole little campaign to feel more sensual and just feel in our divine energy. I just want to note that, because I have no idea if I mistakenly, I know I hashtagged it, but that's because I want her to see it. I want Rihanna to see it, because I want to be a Savage ambassador. So yeah, I'm gonna hashtag it, I'm gonna tag her, I'm gonna do whatever, because if she possibly sees it and happens to be interested, I want in. So no, I did not do a thing with Savage yet, but I just want to note, like, that was something for me, and my grandma didn't like it. My grandma, there were those pictures, like, it took her a minute to open acceptance. She likes the lingerie. She thinks the lingerie is cute, but it's just the fact that for me, my nipples weren't covered. So she saw that. She's just like, it's hard for her because she's so old school, and she's been open with that. She's just like, I'm so old school, like, it's hard for me to take that and not see that as, you know, her old school ways. And I get it, but she's opening up to it. By just allowing me to do my thing, I feel like it gives her a different perspective, because I'm telling her, I'm not doing this for none of these niggas on here. I'm doing this for me. I'm doing this because I want to feel good. I want to look good. And I have never done like a lingerie campaign, or just been like that, feeling like that in lingerie in general. So yes, if anyone's looking to feel good, I definitely recommend to invest in some lingerie and take some pictures, whether that's for yourself or for your Instagram or for your career in the future, whatever it is. Do it for you. Just know that you're doing it for you, and whoever has anything to say about it, fuck them. At this point, it's like, fuck them, because I can't, I personally can't constantly live my life for other people, so people gonna talk shit in general, and if you don't like it, you don't have to like me. You can stay over there. And I will continue to love myself, and I encourage everybody to do the same. It's not to where you have to cut everybody off, but if everybody has a negative opinion about the things that you're doing, in self-love, especially when it comes to just feeling good and wanting to feel good in your own body. Like, I'm sorry, this is not about you. This is my body. I'm sorry if it makes you feel insecure, but that's your feelings to deal with. That has nothing to do with me, honey. At the end. So, Chloe Bailey, I encourage you to continue to do your thing. And I also want to note that it said that Nina Simone's estate didn't approve of it, and I don't know what estate that they're talking about, because I literally just read on Twitter from Nina Simone's granddaughter that her family no longer owns their estate. She said that Kamala Harris had something to do with that, honestly. I don't remember the whole story, but she did note Kamala Harris specifically, and then she said that her family does not own her estate anymore. They said that they got it, taken from them. So, yeah, if it's Nina Simone's white estate, I don't give a fuck. Y'all wanna... Let me continue on, y'all. So, oh my gosh. Luca. Okay, I want to talk about Luca, which if y'all don't know about Luca, Luca is a Disney and Pixar's new movie that was just released on Disney Plus, and it is noted from the audience of the LGBTQ that it is Disney's first gay movie. And they are saying that because it's like told in a very allegorical way. It's not completely obvious, no, but there are so many little subtleties that it's kind of obvious. And for me, I felt the same way. I do want to note that okay, I do want to take this moment. I don't know if this is coming out or whatever, but I do want to note that I am attracted to, I have been attracted to certain women and been attracted to women in general, but I've never dated a woman, and I've never been, I've never been with a woman at all. So I feel like I never wanted to be too quick to say that I'm bisexual because because I just feel like I'm exploring, and I'm open to that possibility of of being bisexual, because I don't care. But people have asked me if I like girls, and I'm just like, I don't know. That's an honest answer, because I feel like I have seen girls who are physically attractive that I feel like I've been attracted to, but I've never connected with a girl on a soul level. So I personally feel like I don't know. I still don't know. So I don't know if that has anything to do with the perspective that I have. I did read a lot of reviews that came on Twitter, specifically from I think there were a couple articles from BuzzFeed or something that were on Twitter about Luca specifically. And when I saw I looked at all of the information and took it in before I even saw the movie. Actually, that made me curious to look at the movie, because I was just like, really? I was just like, how? And honestly, yeah, I can see it, and it's told in a very cute, positive way. And I'm hoping that, yeah, there were some tweets that were saying that young kids in the LGBTQ community will be able to see themselves reflected in this movie, and will be able to connect with it. And that made me so happy, because I just feel like that's all I want. I want people to feel seen. I don't understand why people have such a hard time with that concept. Or even why you have such an issue with that. If you're not gay, you're not gay. So it's just it's so stupid, I guess, to feel like, oh, I'm straight, so now I don't want to see gay people on TV. I don't want to see that shit. And it's just okay, well then you don't watch it. Don't fucking watch it. I don't like it when people come from that ugly ass perspective of oh, you just want to control some shit. You just, if it's men, it's you gotta tell your girl what to wear, or you gotta control how she feels, or you can't, you gotta control shit. If it's with white people, it's oh, you don't understand why black people feel or you just want to be all defensive about racism. And then when it comes to the LGBTQ community, it's just for me, it's so fucking annoying when people just want to be what about the children? It's just the children want to see themselves, and if they count as that, and fuck them. I don't want to say fuck the children, but kids do not care. Let me just note that kids do not fucking care. If anything, kids are curious when it comes to that. Maybe at a certain age you don't have to, but it's this movie is not going to change that, literally. If you see yourself in that, then you see yourself in that, but it's not obvious to where it's going to influence a kid to be gay. First of all, that's not true. And y'all... Oof, I don't want to get on a tangent. That shit is just so irritating to me. And I start getting on a passion rant and tangent when it comes to that bullshit, because it's just y'all, that is, do you even see how you sound? That doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense to me. So sometimes it just be that makes sense to you in a logical sense? Where the math ain't mathin', y'all. Okay, but I encourage y'all to look at it, because it is a cute movie either way. I watched it, was so cute. Anything Disney and Pixar makes is so cute and gets me in the feels, but it's just, it's so cute. It's so cute, y'all. So watch it either way. Y'all homophobic asses could stay away from it. Like, whatever, I don't care. Choose what to do, what you want. But ooh, Mary J. Blige, y'all. So I don't know how many of y'all have invested in Amazon Prime. I've had Amazon Prime for the longest. I've had it since I was in college. Like, that shit came in handy when I moved to San Francisco, and while I was in college trying to get deliveries and groceries and shit. So I definitely recommend it. But for those who can't pay for it, I completely understand. And for those who want to say fuck Amazon, I completely understand. I can't completely say fuck Amazon only because of the fact that I'm in a place, or I was in a place at the point where I needed a delivery, and Amazon, I was already paying for it. It was like the cheapest. Like, I just had to do it. So Amazon Prime has a new documentary with Mary J. Blige, and that's called My Life. It's her My Life documentary that's talks about her EP, or not her EP, her LP, My Life, from back in 1994, and everything that she was going through when she was discovered and when that EP came out and was released. It was actually really good. I love documentaries, especially when it comes to music and getting to know where an artist was, like, in their head and their life, and how even life was looking in their environment, and current events at the time of the 90s and everything like that. And I love Mary J, but I don't, I feel like I don't know her on that kind of level. So getting to look at this documentary and see her in that kind of light was very enlightening for me, especially with everything that she was going through. Like, you just know that people go through things, especially artists, when it comes to being an R&B singer and just finding that soul and that passion that comes to feeling those, like, feeling the words and singing the words and just repeating them all the time and just going back to that place. I am so fascinated by that. So fascinated, especially when it comes to specific Black woman artists and legendary artists like Prince and Michael. I love them so much, and I love, like, getting to pick their brain and get close to them as much as I can now that they're dead. But still alive in our hearts. I did not mean to say that in such a harsh way. With Mary J, I realized that I didn't even really know her to how she even talked. Like, I haven't, like, watched an interview or watched enough from her outside of singing to even recognize how her voice sounds. If that sounds weird. So this was like a complete, like, a whole open experience, and I don't know much about, but I know my grandma, like, I was introduced to Mary J with her No More Drama album. My grandma loved Family Affair, and then No More Drama was a little anthem for me when I was going through some shit. So, Mary J was like that. Like, she was introduced to me like that. Like, in this dancery, like, dancery Mary J. She wants to say it was dance soiree now. I'm just like, okay, you can say what you want, but you said dancery in the song. I heard dancery. I'm sorry, y'all. It's just so funny to me, because I feel like in some way we're all thinking the same thing. Like, no, you said dancery. I don't know if anyone heard dance soiree. I have yet to hear it. Like, even with T-Pain, and I'm gonna get to T-Pain in a second, because actually, you know what? Let me get to him now, because I was going to just leave it at the end, but it's just a little clip. But if any of y'all are on Twitter or have been on Twitter, you would note that there's a video clip going around of T-Pain. I think there's a documentary coming out on Netflix soon, but there's a clip of him going around talking about auto-tune and talking about how, nobody supported him and thought it was a stupid idea when it came to him and his artistry. And so Usher, he was confronted by Usher on the plane, like on a plane, like he was woken up by a flight attendant who told him that Usher wanted to speak with him. And so he went to talk to Usher, and then Usher just casually told him, like, you know, like, you kind of ruined music, man. I'm like, which kind of led Usher, not even Usher, but led T-Pain into like a 4-year depression. And I felt like so bad. I was just like, what? Fuck Usher for that shit. Like, I'm so sorry. I have my opinions on autotune. I definitely do. But I don't have that opinion when it comes to T-Pain. T-Pain knows how to use the shit. So T-Pain is the master of that shit. And every time he uses it, it is in a positive or even just a perspective that's, I don't know, like, I know that they're auto-tune, like, everyone was on that shit for a while, but those are people who don't know how to use it. Like, y'all ain't the masters. And Usher used that, used auto-tune when it came to his, OMG song. So I'm like, how the fuck dare you sit here and tell T-Pain that he ruined music with autotune, but you sat here and used autotune for one of your biggest songs. I know that OMG was one of his biggest songs for a while, and I didn't even like that song. So just because you and will.i.am did a shitty job at using autotune, now you want to go and tell T-Pain that he ruined music? Not even now, because I have no idea when he told him, but it's just like, you used autotune, so you really can't say anything. Fuck you, Usher. I'm so sorry. Like, I love Usher for the music that but I haven't loved Usher's music in a long time, and he is the master. I want to say that because I feel like ain't nobody really on his level, because people always want to put Chris Brown on his level, and I'm just like, okay, you know what? Chris Brown is his son. I'm like, how you equal with your son? Not even equal with your son, but like, how are you, like, he's not equal if he's like he's a baby of Michael Jackson, and then Chris Brown is like a son of Usher. You feel me? Like, Chris Brown wasn't even born when Usher was doing the Michael Jackson shit. You feel me? So honestly, it just be like, you can't be equal. Y'all can't be equal when it comes to like a versus, like, and like, oh, we have the same. They're both really talented, even though they're both shitty. I don't. But that's that's the misogynistic side of them, I'll just say. But I want to say fuck Usher for that shit. Before I get to the music side, I'm sorry. I know that I'm like ranting, like, I don't know, staying too long when it comes to some shit, but I can talk and I can get on a rant, and I'm trying to control that. I feel like the podcast will definitely help me control with that, especially because I feel like I don't want y'all just to feel like you're listening to a bunch of bullshit. But I did listen to a lot of music this week, and I listened to Doja Cat's new album Planet Her came out yesterday, actually. And that that was a great album. I thought it was great. It was a vibe. I felt like it was definitely a vibe. It was like a pop dream, started with a lot of pop and techno-ish, and then kind of rolled into like a trap R&B kind of feel, kind of like Streets, but a little bit like softer and just a little bit more of a pop vibe. Like, it did sound like a universal, like, you know, like her own little world. Like, Doja is kind of like introducing you into her little divine feminine world in a different aspect. I feel like when it comes to like love and sex and sensuality in general, and I liked it. There were certain songs that popped out specifically. I think I Don't Do Drugs with Ariana Grande was a song that I liked. Damn, I think it's Better Than This. Hold on, let me see, because I do want to give y'all the what's up when it comes to that specifically. These songs will be updated on my Hot Girl Summer Season 2 playlist this week, or June 30th, because that's when Rico Nasty's new single comes out. So it'll be updated then, and that will be on there, and some songs from Planet Her and others will be on there. Just a note for anyone who is enjoying music or who is listening into the Hot Girl Summer playlist so far. But let me get Let me pause, y'all. I mean, not even pause. Forgive me. I'm just looking shit up so that I can give y'all the correct information. Been Like This. That's what it is. Not Better Than This. It's Been Like This. Been Like This was a good song. She ended up doing that Niggas Ain't Shit song. But she called it Ain't Shit. It sounds different than what I think, and I hate to say that I like the song. Like, I don't know what people were saying about it to where we were, like, everyone was all thinking negative about it. Or if we were trying to discourage her from releasing that song. But God, I feel it. Like, oh my gosh, I'm so, like, I'm just going through my own shit when it comes to relationships and perspectives, and when it comes to like dealing with men in general. So my ego and my bitterness wants to hold on to that song. Not forever, just for a minute. Just for a minute, enough to say that I liked it. Forgive me, y'all. Like, I'm sorry for the men who follow me, because I just feel like the ones who are very positive, I feel like I should give y'all more of a shout out, and I definitely am going to take steps to doing that. But come on, I just feel like sometimes we gotta be real here, and I feel like a lot of y'all can be a little bit sensitive to where you can't even hear a negative something about you. And I'm just like, I hear negative shit about women all the time, and I'm just like, yeah, but women go through a lot. It's kind of just like with white people. It's like, don't oppress us by being like, oh, women do shit too. I completely get it. But there was a video going around of some women being attacked or being shot at by a guy after they rejected him, and no woman would do that shit. So let's not. Let me just stay right there. Ooh, y'all, I keep talking about this on my Insta story, but I just want to give another shout out to my favorite song right now, Yucky Blicky Fruitcake. Yucky Blicky Fruitcake is by this new rapper, I Am Dochi, and I have yet to dig deep into her, but I was listening to her newest album, Girls, and it's a vibe, y'all. Like, she is really good. I love her because she talks about weird shit, pop culture shit in her lyrics, while being like real about being like a weird, like, I was a weird girl in high school. And I feel like a lot of the weird girls are coming out right now, but they're not being highlighted enough. And I'm like, Yucky Blicky Fruitcake, talk about it more. I want to hear this shit on the radio more, honestly. I'm like, I love Megan and I love Doja and everything, but I feel like the reason that people are getting so irritated when it comes to female rap is because society keeps trying to not even make shit popular because it's already popular, but you keep banging us in the head with one type of female rap. And I just feel like that's a lot. Like, it gets annoying. I love Megan, I love Doja, I love hearing them. Like, I don't get tired of them. I honestly get tired of people saying negative shit about female rap when I feel like we should be talking about how society pushes certain types of female rap and pushes certain types of women and rejects others. So it's just like, there are so many women on my playlist who I feel like need more when it comes to just being popular and everything. Like Chika specifically, I feel bad for Chika because Chika talks a lot about this on her Twitter and how she feels like she's just unappreciated. And she's great. She's a great lyricist. And I don't want to knock the women who are popular right now because I love them as well. I just feel like there's enough room for everybody, and I blame society for making women feel like there's enough room for everybody. And because they only shed light on these types of women, you feel like you kind of have to be that in order to get attention, and you sure as hell don't. You have to continue being yourself. And Yucky Blicky Fruitcake, I feel like, represents that a lot, because of the fact that there are a lot of weird girls, just a lot of girls who are talking about their shit, their authentic shit, and are not getting talked about enough. And that's not to say that Megan, Doja, and Mulatto, I mean, not even Mulatto, Big Lotto, like, they're talking about shit too, but it's just like when you show all these mumble ass rappers who are just talking about money, clothes, bitches. It's just like, you know, when you, and if that's all you're seeing that's being highlighted in female rap, you're gonna get tired of female rap. And I feel like that's why I don't get tired of female rap, because I know other rappers. I know other rappers, and I give them way more attention than it is being highlighted in society. So I feel like that's why I don't like when people talk about female rap, because I just feel like you don't know enough of female rap to talk shit about it. Like, there's not enough. There's definitely enough room for everybody, and I'm just like, ugh, that's why I chose to have a platform, because I just feel like people, I don't know, I have a perspective, and I don't want to boost that perspective as like, oh, this is the right way. Like, no, this is just the way that I want to do it. And I want to do it in a more balanced way, especially when I be hearing perspectives that I'm just like, okay, but if you heard this part of female rap, you would completely not feel that way. Or if you just heard more of these types of women, or if you just heard the whole of female rap as a balance, instead of just hearing what's on the radio and thinking then that's it. And that's why you're getting tired. And that's not to say that Megan and Doja should not be getting the attention that they do, because Megan, I love all of her music. I don't care. People want to talk shit. I don't care. I love anything that comes out. I didn't even think I was gonna like thought shit, and I ended up liking that shit way more. Like, I'm dancing to that shit. So Megan has me. I feel like most of the time Doja has me too, even though she can be problematic when it comes to society. But I'm just like, I love her, like, lyricist. She's very inspiring when it comes to, like, poetry and shit like that. So, like, female rap, y'all. Like, first of all, I just want to give a check out to my Hot Girl Summer playlist, because I feel like especially everybody who has a negative feeling on female rap and just female music right now, listen to my Hot Girl Summer playlist, because I feel like that is showing a more outside perspective. I have music on there that I didn't even know about. Like, personally, I did the Hot Girl Summer playlist for me too, because I want to know about these women who are underground, who are not really being shown, and who are, like, not even popular yet. I want to know. Like, I want to know about them, so I put the music that I haven't even heard yet, and I listen to it, and I'm just as surprised, and I love it. I love it all, and I feel like I want to keep doing that, and I'm not going to beg people to listen to my playlist. It's just like, it's kind of like a challenge for people who are having that opinion right now, because it's just like, I don't want to say you're wrong. Like, I'm not going to tell you you're wrong for having that opinion, because I know that you're only hearing what's on the radio, and that's understandable. It's understandable to say that, because I get tired of what's on the radio too. Because the radio just plays the same shit over and over. I'm just like, y'all, like, I know this shit is popular, but you don't need to play this one song once an hour. You don't need to hear it like 2-3 times an hour. You need to, like, you need to broaden our horizons. We get so caught up and so limited and just like the shit that's popular, and then we don't want to go digging into what's not popular or what's not being shown. So that's just a little note. Magic, I was going to talk about Rico Nasty single, but I found out that it was released. It's actually being released June 30th and not the 25th. I thought it was the 25th. I thought everything was coming out on the 25th, so that was on me. So that will be released, and then the Hot Girl Summer playlist, I said, will be updated again. But also, let me give a shout out to, I should have said this earlier because we were talking about In the Heights, but Anthony Ramos, who played Usnavi, the star, the main guy in The Heights, has a new album out, and that was actually released yesterday too. And it's like a little pop. It's like a pop Latino, like Caribbean, like it's like a mix. It's like I heard a lot of R&B, but there was pop in the beginning, and it's all about love, and it's called Love and Lies. So it kind of sounds like Enrique Iglesias and how he used to sound. Like it sounds that's who it reminds me of, but it doesn't sound like the Baby I Like It Enrique. It sounds it kind of sounds a little bit in between when he was still doing like Balamos, like not that, but almost that in a more poppy version. I don't know. I'm trying to give a little bit of an aspect of what it sounds like, because everybody has new sounds coming out now, but it kind of sounds like a little bit of like an R&B trap, not like Bryson, but like it has his own little Enrique twist to it. I like it. Specifically, what is it? A little bit, they have a little bit of like a dancey, like a pop Latino, reggaeton sound. But, that would be Éjale. I think that was that song. I wish I could play it for y'all. I don't know if I can play it for y'all, play music on here. With music being copyrighted, if I am able to do that without getting into any legal trouble, I will definitely do that, because this is definitely the playground is definitely Passion Tea Radio. So if I am able to figure that out, I will definitely start playing music for y'all and recommending and the certain songs that I just highlight and recommend and that are popular in my head, for any of y'all that want to get to know what's going on in my head. All right, y'all. So thank you so much for sticking with me all of this time. I think that's about it for the rest of this week. So catch those 2 episodes of Loki. We didn't get to talk about those enough, but that's only because I don't want to spoil it for y'all yet. When the show was over and everything has been released and all the episodes have been released, I will be doing that. But I don't want to be a spoiler for y'all. Like, and I feel like we get so many spoilers enough as it is that just catch it. Just watch it. Get that Disney Plus if you can, or download that shit if you can. I ain't gonna tell you what to do, but I know you probably doing it anyway. Stop talking shit about Chloe Bailey and women who are showing their sexuality right now, and embrace them, especially other women who are shaming her. Shame on you, bitch. And Love and Lies by Anthony Ramos was great. Planet Her by Doja Cat was released, and Rico Nasty's new album is, her new album is coming out soon, but it's gonna start with a single, and that's June 30th. And then catch the Hot Girl Summer Season 2 playlist. It is on my website. It is on my Instagram, and it is on my on a link in my bio. So check that out. And everybody who loves T-Pain and doesn't like who Usher say that, give a big fuck you to Usher for the week. Just for the week. I love you, Usher, and I'm not going to send negative energy this way, but I am going to be like, you were a bitch for saying that. Just saying. You put him in a 4-year depression. T-Pain. Oh, and he just released a new, He just released a music video for his I Like That song featuring Kehlani, which is a fucking bop. So check that out if you haven't heard that either. But have a great weekend, and I will see y'all in a couple weeks.